and welcome to the NGO Whisperer show. My name is Dr. Carolyne Opinde, and I am the founder of the NGO Whisperer and the convener of the NGO Whisperer Masterclass. Here at the NGO Whisperer, we provide technical support to nonprofits and social enterprises so they can successfully impact people's lives. Joining us for part 2, once again, we are honored to have Shamila Ramjawan coming on to speak more about social cohesion and nation building in South Africa. Just to remind you, Shamila is a multi-award-winning philanthropist and entrepreneur. She is the founder of Princess D Menstrual Cup and Menstrual Health Hygiene Champion. She is also the founder of Farmrun Solutions and Farmrun Philanthropic Organization, where she gives back to the community. She is the Africa chairperson for Ladies of All Nations International, Lowani, UK, and the country director for South Africa for the International Youth Society, IYS. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we welcome Shamila Ramjawan for part 2 of this episode.
Thank you, Dr. Opinde. I am so grateful and honored to be on your show. You are the true epitome of a role model impacting lives across the globe. And I'm so honored to share my journey and my stories with the rest of the world.
Thank you so much for the amazing work that you do as a menstrual health hygiene champion and keeping girls in school through your product, Princess D Menstrual Cup. Could you please tell us why Princess D Menstrual Cup? Where did the name come from? How do you distribute this to communities, and who are you partnering with?
So Princess D Menstrual Cup is something that I researched for about 2 years. And I found that to bring an international cup into the market in South Africa would be too expensive. So I decided to create my own brand. And I was looking for a name. And I named it after my daughter, Daksha, who is my princess, Princess D. And I took it into the market 5 years ago. And currently we are in over 20 countries. We are doing lots of work in communities, especially with schoolgirls. And my tagline is keeping girls in school. So I just feel that girls in the deep rural areas, they have nothing to use. They use feathers, leaves, pages from their textbooks, foam from mattresses, and they're not hygienic solutions. And I decided that my project is going to be aimed at the deep rural areas and the impoverished areas where I can now give a girl a sustainable solution for 10 years, and she doesn't have to worry about her menstruation. So it's actually, just going out there in communities and fending for our girls and giving them a sustainable solution. So what we do is we actually put out our proposals to corporates. They come on board, they sponsor the projects, we supply the product, and we go out into the communities and we do the activation and training around the product. So basically, if we're talking about a menstrual cup, it comes in a box like this. So you get one menstrual cup and you get a sterilizer cup. So I'm just going to quickly show you what it looks like. So this is what the menstrual cup looks like. It's pretty small. It works very much like a tampon. So what would the girl do? She would fold it. There's various ways to fold it. That's the U-fold. Then there's also the push-down fold, which is a lot smaller for the girls. And if they're inserting it for the first time, they will just wet it with water and then insert it. It just pops open and it forms a seal against the vaginal wall, and all the menstrual flow will fall directly into the cup. So it gives you that leak-free protection, and it locks in the odor as well. This is amazing because, schoolgirls across the globe, they walk for long distances at a time. And here they have a cup that they don't have to worry about because you actually don't feel it in you because it's so comfortable. So they could actually leave it in for up to 12 hours at a time, depending on their flow. So it's amazing. And at the end of the day, when they get home, they can actually remove the cup. So you press the button, it releases a suction. There's holes on either side. It releases a suction, and then you gently pull it out in a vertical direction. You empty your menstrual flow into a toilet or wash basin, rinse your cup, fold, and reinsert. That's the process. You can even sleep with it. It's quite safe to sleep with. There's not going to be any leakage. And you just actually use your cup. You only need 1 cup for 10 years. So when you're done for the month, so this is now at the end of your cycle, you're going to sterilize this cup because it's very important to sterilize. So you rinse your menstrual cup, and it comes with a sterilizer cup. So this is amazing. So this actually is quite compact. It opens up like this, like that. Boiling water, you put your menstrual cup in there, you close it, and you just leave it aside for 15 minutes to sterilize. That's it. It's very, very safe. And then you take it out to dry because you don't want to wipe it. You don't want any cloth or debris from anything that you're going to wipe with onto the cup because you're going to use the same cup next month. So you just leave it to dry. When it's dry, you empty out the water, okay? And I like this because this is so amazing. So you fold your cup, your sterilized cup like that again, okay? You put your menstrual cup in here because now you're going to put it aside for next month. And this is it. It's all in there. And this you can carry around in your handbag, school bag, because it's for girls and women. And then it also comes in a cute little satin bag. So you can put this in your satin bag and you just keep this away. And you know, menstrual cups, it's actually one of the best products right now for menstruation. So I would say, you know, if you want a hygienic solution and if you want to really, really give a girl a sustainable solution where she doesn't have to look for sanitary pads every month, this is the way to go. And, you know, it's a solution. It works out to South African rands, 2 rand a month, opposed to 80 or 90 rand for sanitary pads. And, you know, you'll find that with the normal sanitary pads and tampons, girls can't afford that. And if they can afford a pack of sanitary pads or it's a donation, they're going to leave 1 sanitary pad in for 6 to 8 hours, which is not healthy. You know, the ideal should be that you change your sanitary pad every 3 to 4 hours, depending on your flow again. And that's not being done. So when girls leave their sanitary pads for longer, that's when they end up with infections. So yes, this is the ideal solution. And I encourage every woman and girl that menstruate to use a menstrual cup.
I'm also aware that you are in the process of completing your PhD, and it's going to look at menstrual health hygiene. Would you please share a little bit about that with us?
You know, I found with my passion and purpose, it's not just about providing menstrual cups to girls, because I work out in all areas, and I found that not much research is being done for disabled girls or differently abled girls. So I decided that my PhD is going to be based on menstrual hygiene management, focusing on adolescents with intellectual disabilities. And it's going to be the first study for Africa, which I'm really, really proud and happy about, because it's going to make quite an impact in the lives of people. And I'm almost on the tail end of my PhD. I have about 6 or 8 months to go, and I'm really looking forward to my thesis that's going to be out there. So yes, that is quite an achievement as well. And I want to say thank you to Honors University and Mancosa for giving me the scholarship to actually do my PhD.
We are truly honored, and we cannot wait to hear more about your research work, groundbreaking work, and the results of it, and how it can be implemented in communities to work with differently abled women. Shamila, you are also a reality TV star in South Africa. Would you please share with us what it's all about? Because we are so excited to hear more about it.
Thank you for bringing that up, Dr. Opinde. I think it's so important that I actually talk about it. So in 2019, I was chosen as one of 8 leaders in South Africa to go to a little town in the Western Cape called Railton, Swellendam. And we were actually chosen to go out there as thrivers and do community work. So we set off for 21 days where we ate plant-based food, we did activities, we danced, we played, we cried, and we got together and we did a number of community projects in that town. And we really left a landmark because, you know, we've made a difference in that community. So the TV reality show is called Thrivers, and that is from survivor to thriver. And we actually want to showcase that. And we're also looking for funds for that project to actually proceed with the production. And once that gets going, we actually have plans for it for Netflix. So it's Netflix ready and the rest of the world can watch that as well. So yes, I'm looking forward to the whole world watching what we got to in the community. We honored lots of projects. We made a difference and impact in the lives of many people. And there's a whole story to that, which is going to be amazing. It's actually going to be the first for the world, in fact, not just South Africa and Africa, but first for the world, a community project that was shot in the Western Cape and showcases what we've done in those 21 days.
Taking us to the next level as we celebrate the International Day for Nelson Mandela, we are meant to honor his legacy by giving back to the community. For those who may not know, this day was first celebrated on the 18th of July in 2010. The United Nations, officially declared that Nelson Mandela International Day was going to be a global, not just in South Africa, it is a global celebration, international day where we observe 67 minutes of giving back to the communities or the society or wherever we come from. And for those 67 minutes, you do good to actually remember the 67 years that Nelson Mandela spent in prison, fighting for the freedom of the people of South Africa. And I believe what he did was not just a statement for South Africa, but for around the world. So on this day, Shamila, I would like you to give a message to three categories of people. The first one is government. What message do you have for the South African government and any other government? What message do you have for the civil society? And what message do you have for good citizens like me and you on promoting social cohesion and nation building in our communities?
Firstly, for government, I think it's so important for us to have inclusivity in the communities. It's involving the communities, getting the buy-in from them, providing for them, giving them better housing, water and sanitation, essential services, feeding them. I think it's so important. People do what they do because they don't have, and we need to provide for them. So my message to government is we need to include our people, believe in the spirit of Ubuntu. I am because you are. It's all about the compassion, the dignity, the peace. That's what we want to bring into the country. We have a beautiful country. South Africa is amazing. I love South Africa. We need to build South Africa. And the only way we can do it is with the cooperation from government. In terms of the people of South Africa, thank you so much for everything that you're doing right now. You are building the nation. You are rebuilding what was broken down in the last few days. We love you. We know you are going the extreme to do what you need to do. And we really, really appreciate what you're doing to the communities, to the SAPS, the South African Police Services, to the Army, to everybody that's protecting South Africa, the communities, protecting their possessions and their people, and all the NGOs, community builders that are out there raising funds and trying to get aids for the people that are suffering during this time. And, I must add, Dr. Opinde, it's just not the impoverished that's suffering right now. With all the destruction in the last week, it's normal people that are suffering because they don't have food. They cannot get supplies. They cannot get essential stuff like bread and milk because trucks were burnt, businesses were looted. Nobody was mobile for a whole week. And this is what people are going through at the moment. So I urge people, if you're listening in, do what you're supposed to do. Do what you can do. Do what you can afford to do. And, even on social media platforms, go out there. If you do not have the financial means to support anybody, you can share a post because you never know who is going to reach out to. So there are things that you can do. As long as you're on social media, you have data. You can share a post. It doesn't cost you anything to share a post. So, this is that's my plea to people out there. But in terms of our nation builders, you're doing amazing work. We can do more. Yes, we will do more. And we just need to have that perseverance and the determination. South Africa is not broken. We are here, and we will make sure that we build our South Africa together.
That is powerful. South Africa is not broken. We are here, and we will make sure that we will rebuild better. Oh, what powerful message you've given us today on this International Day for Nelson Mandela. As we celebrate today, I would like to remind you once again, take 67 minutes of your time during this week, during this month of July, and spend time, give back. If you haven't done so, do it. And for those in the nonprofit sector, help another nonprofit. We know you do good every day, but we want you to help another nonprofit. For those in South Africa, we invite you to take part in the rebuilding projects and initiatives that are going on in Johannesburg, in KZN, KwaZulu-Natal province, in the different towns, whether it's Durban or Pietermaritzburg. We want you to give back. If you are anywhere and you're willing to give financially, I would like to ask Shamila to give us one of the most trusted organizations that she's working with. She's mentioned it, and we will give you the contact details so you can give to them to support them. And for those who may think they do not have, we are just asking for 67 Rand or 670 or 6,700, whatever the amount is that you can afford, but aligned with the 67 minutes. So if you can afford it, we would like you to give. Shamila, where can people give financially? Because I know we need the funding to be able to do the rebuilding that is required.
Dr. Opinde, we have a bank account, the local bank account with FNB. Then we also have a PayPal account that's been set up, but people can also do SWIFT transfers.
Shamila, where can people connect with you?
I am available on all social media platforms. So if people search for Shamila Ramjawan, on Instagram, it's shamila.ramjawan. On LinkedIn, it's Shamila Ramjawan. On Facebook, Shamila Ramjawan. And yes, let's connect and let's see how we can collaborate and work together. Dr. Opinde, can I just end with a quote?
Absolutely.
I think it's apt for me to end with a quote on Nelson Mandela Day, because he's our hero. He fought for us. He's created such a landmark across the globe. And Tata Madiba, happy birthday. This quote is, "It's so easy to break down and destroy. The heroes are those who make peace and build."
That is actually the quote that I posted today as well on social media when I was thinking about what's happening in South Africa. And I am so glad that we are aligned that way. You know, we did not discuss this, and it's just amazing that heroes are not those who break down or destroy. They're actually those who make peace and build. And so we are calling you, Shamila and I are calling out on you today and asking you, what are you building? And are you making peace in your community? So as we come to the end of this show, I would like to thank Shamila Ramjawan for coming here today as we celebrate Nelson Mandela International Day and discuss social cohesion and nation building in South Africa. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Opinde. Thank you for having me on this wonderful show. And NGO Whisperer doing amazing work across the globe, impacting lives, and just by raising funds and making a difference. Thank you so much for all your support and everything that you do to build nations.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. We have 2 hours of free masterclass that we are going to offer for you as part of our 67 minutes. Of course, it's more than 67 minutes. That's what we do. We go above and beyond. We are asking you to bring your team to the masterclass so we can build your capacity and help you to build better, to build your communities better, to raise funds and to impact lives. We invite you also to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. As always, it's all about connecting people, raising funds, and impacting lives globally.